The next topic is, I think I've already explained this class to the other batches students. Have you gone through that video COP26? Anyone? I know no one will go through that. COP26 summit. See where it was held? Glasgow. That means it is the 26th summit. Already 25 summits are completed. Already 25 summits are completed. When was the first summit held? It is an annual summit. 1995. Actually, why these summits are happening? Why these summits are happening at Glasgow? In order to change the climate or in order to combat the climate change? Combat the climate change. What does it mean? Climate change means? Climate change means what? Atmosphere. Atmosphere and climate both are same or both are different? What is a climate? Climate means it's an average around 30 years of conditions of a particular place. So it's not something like, okay, now the actually general sense we use the climate is changing. The climate is so cool. The climate is so warm. Generally we use, but we are not supposed to use that word climate. Climate refers for a long-term changes. A long-term changes. Long-term change in the sense, suppose in the last 30 to 40 years, what was the average temperature of the earth? What was the average temperature of the earth? Average temperature of earth means it includes the temperature of land mass, it includes the temperature of the forest area, it includes the temperature of oceans, it includes the temperature of the whatever the polar areas. So you need to take the average. So it's not something like what is there in Trivandrum or what is there in Hyderabad. It's an on average at global level, there is a temperature to this globe. This temperature is increasing. This temperature is increasing. The reasons for the increases are many. One of the most important thing is this vehicular emission, industrialization, deforestation. There are some reasons. I'm not getting into that. But first time in the year 1992, we met at Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro, it's a city in Brazil. So it's a city. So we have met first time in the year 1992. How many of you have started this environment and ecology classes? No. No one. Okay, anyway, you will study, but I'll give you a brief idea. In Rio de Janeiro in 1992, we were met. For what we call this summit as Earth Summit. Earth Summit. This summit, we call it as Earth Summit. And under this Earth Summit, we have committed for some things at a broader level. We have 5 commitments. And in that one commitment is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. UNFCCC. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. This we come to a conclusion under 1992 Rio Summit, and it was happened in 1994. This is a broader convention. So convention for what? Convention for what? Combating climate change. Convention for what? Combating climate change. So what all the changes that are happening to the environment, now we need to combat it. We are not supposed to allow it to happen. Somewhere we need to take. And this is a United Nations level. That means at the world level, this convention has signed. Now, under this convention, every year we are sitting. Every year we are sitting. So the sitting started from 1995. Now we are in 2021. Now we are in 2021. So since last 26 years, Every year, world countries are going and they are sitting and they are discussing. Discussing for what? Discussing to combat the climate change. Okay, if you discuss, will it happen? You need an action. You need an action. So that action process has started in the year 1997. That action process has started in the year 1997. So 1990, if it is first summit in 1995 means in the 1997, it is the third summit. And where it was held? At Kyoto. It was held at Kyoto. And whatever the action plan that we have devised at Kyoto, we call it as Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol. So protocol means it's an action process under a convention. It's an action process under a convention. So that convention process has started in the year 1997 at Japan. Kyoto Protocol, we call it. This is very, very important. So what this protocol says broadly? What this protocol says broadly? This protocol says the climate is changing. We need to combat the climate change. But what are the reasons for the climate change? The agreed reason is we have polluted this entire Mother Earth enough on the name of industrialization. Industrial revolution has started in 1750 and from there. Sorry? I think someone has to mute. Okay, so the agreed reason for this climate change is, we have polluted this entire Mother Earth enough. And who has polluted? Those who are industrialized, they have polluted. And which are the industrialized countries? Simply we can call it as Western countries, European and America. These are the countries polluted enough. Now, under this Kyoto Protocol, what the countries are agreed to is, I am dividing the countries into two. One is the developed countries and one is the developing countries. Developing countries and developed countries. Now, what the developing countries argued is, we are not the reason for this entire pollution. The developed world is actually the culprit of this entire pollution. So let them have to take a decision. So let them have to reduce the emission. Let them have to support the developing countries in order to reduce the emissions in the developing country. But the most of the onus lies only on developed world. So the onus is on completely developed world, and all the developing countries said, we are not the reason, you are the reason, so you please reduce it. And accordingly, America has not agreed to that, but still some of the countries are agreed. Okay, so now under the Kyoto Protocol, what we have agreed is the developed countries must reduce their emissions, and developing countries has no role in that. And in order to reach that particular decision, it has taken almost 8 years. 8 years. And it has started implementing from 2005. It has started implementing from 2005. And we wanted to implement it in two phases. The phase one starts from 2005 to 2012. And the phase two starts from 2012 to 2020. Actually, we never thought we have to implement, but initially we have put a target up to 2012. After that, from 2012 to 2020, we have put the target. Now, in the first phase, what we said is only developed countries have to reduce. And for that, we have devised so many mechanisms. You will study all those things as a part of environment. Carbon crediting, carbon offsetting, like many things. If a developed country comes to the developing country and if they give some sort of clean technology here, then they can emit to some extent in their respective country. Likewise, some provisions are there, but if at all a reduction has to happen, that reduction must be happened through developed country. That is what the agreed principle in 2005 to 2012. But before we reach to 2012, there was a summit called Copenhagen Summit It was held in the year 2009, Copenhagen Summit. So in this Copenhagen Summit, the developed countries have brought a new thing into this entire discourse. Some of the countries are claiming themselves as the developing countries, but still they are also developed countries. Why the onus should only be on developed countries? The onus should also be shifted on developing countries like China, India, Brazil, and some other countries. Why should only we? We have contributed to some extent. Let the developing countries should also join in this process. Then there are a lot of discussions. Then Prime Minister of India, Manmohan Singh said, we are not part of problem, but we wanted to be part of solution. We are not part of problem, but we wanted to be part of solution. Then a new concept arose. That concept is common but differentiated responsibility. Earlier, the responsibility is purely on the developed countries. Now, the responsibility is on everyone, but there is a differential responsibility. That means your responsibility and my responsibility is not same. Your responsibility is something bigger. Your responsibility is something more. My responsibility is less, but still I wanted to be part of this problem, part of this solution. We haven't polluted this. We haven't created anything to this planet. You yourself done, but still you are saying we wanted to, okay, we will join. But our responsibility is something differential compared to you, but responsibility is common. What is that common responsibility? Combating climate change. So how will you do? Again, there is an action. In how many ways we can reduce the emissions and all. I'll come to that later while I'm explaining COP26. But in the year 2009, there was a concept called CBDR, common but differentiated responsibilities. When these common but differentiated responsibilities have said, then some of the developing countries accepted to that and the process is started. 2012 to 2020, second phase started. Now, in the year 2015, again, there was an important summit held. What was that summit 2015? Any idea? Paris Summit. Paris Summit. When it comes to the Paris Summit, what they said is, what the developed countries said is, it's a common responsibility, it's a differentiated responsibility, but all the countries must come up with their intended nationally determined contributions. That means how much contributions that you want to make, please come up with that list. Earlier they said, I am the responsible, you are not responsible, I will take care. But when it comes to the 2009, they said responsibility is common, but we are having a differentiated responsibility. But when it comes to the 2015, they said like, you please come up with all your targets and so that we will discuss. Now we have to go. And India went with all INDC targets. But what they said is, we will revise these targets after 3 years or 5 years. If it really not in accordance with our changing climate, then you have to increase your responsibility. That is what they said. Please try to observe where are we in 1997 and where we reached in 2015. 2015. And anyhow, 2020, that end now the whatever the Paris goals has to start. Paris goals has to start. But what we are consistently saying is, we are not part of problem, because these are all important terms you have to use. We are not part of problem. We wanted to be part of solution. We believe in common responsibility. At the same time, we believe in differentiated responsibility. We will do whatever the things that we want through our INDC, but don't pressure us. Don't put targets on us, because we are not responsible. But still we are taking the responsibility to solve the problem. But please help. Please help. If you help me so that I can achieve this target at a sooner date. What is that helping? A technological assistance you do. A financial assistance you do. And in the year 2011, there was a fund called Green Climate Fund. This was asked in prelims, $100 billion. Every country committed to, every developed country committed to provide that Green Climate Fund of $100 billion, but till now they have not delivered. But India is saying, we are ready to do that, but please provide that funding and please give the technical assistance. If you don't give that funding and if you don't give the technical assistance, then it is very difficult for the developing countries to really get the targets to be reached. But still you are saying that climate is changing, you have to reduce. But we always strongly believe in this common but differentiated responsibility. And at this juncture, we met in COP26 and India has announced its targets. India has announced this target because it has to announce. It has to announce. That was a compelling, that is actually India has compelled to announce. Not only India, China has announced it. Developed countries, anyway, they will announce because responsibilities lies on them. And we have announced it. Initially, we were so reluctant to announce. We have announced some different targets, but they are asking when you will become net zero. When you will become net zero, I'll tell you what is that net zero concept. When you will become net zero, we said no, not now. Tell me the date. And when, by what time we will become net zero? 2070. 2070, we will become net zero. But along with that net zero targets, our Prime Minister and our government has also given some sort of other targets, and also we have given some sort of caution to the world that we need other things apart from these targets also. Now, first I'll discuss what were the commitments made by India at this summit, Glasgow summit, and what else it has spoken. I'll try to explain now. But is it clear for you as far as the limited history, whatever I have explained, as far as this climate change is concerned? Started with 1992, a convention in 1994, a protocol was started in 1997, started implementing from 2005. Somewhere in the 2009, you have changed the rules of the game and we have agreed to that. And ultimately 2015, we have said again in a different way. And ultimately in 2020, now the developing countries has compelled to give their whatever the emission targets. Now we have given. Not that we are saying we are not part of problem. Whenever you will get the question is something like that. See, in which way the question asks, don't move in that direction. India should also having a responsibility in reducing the climate change because all the island nations are affecting. Yes, I do agree that all the island nations are affecting. I do agree that the temperature is increasing. I do agree that lot of calamities are happening. But whose responsibility it is? Is it my responsibility? No, it's a common responsibility, but it is a differentiated responsibility. It's a differentiated responsibility. I myself committed to something and you are not at all providing any technical assistance. You are not at all providing any financial assistance and you are asking me to reduce. This is not at all acceptable. We are doing to what extent we can do. Now, the commitments made by before that, I'll explain some global commitments, some 3 to 4. After that, I'll come to specific India's commitments. Methane pledge. Anyway, you have to reduce the carbon emissions. Carbon emission in the sense it's not simply emission of carbon dioxide alone, a carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. That means suppose if any factory is running or any vehicle is running, apart from carbon dioxide, you will release other gases, nitrous oxide, some sulfur and other. Every gas has its own effect, but we are converting the equivalent effect to the carbon. Did you get the point? Suppose 10 grams of CO2 is causing an effect of, just assume 5% of points. Again, same 10 grams of nitrous oxide is causing an effect of, let it be only 1% of damage. Again, 10 grams of sulfur dioxide is causing a damage of, let it be 0.5% of effect. Now you need to convert everything into carbon equivalent. That means 10 grams of carbon plus, if 10 grams of NO2 is 1, means if at all you want to have 5, we need 50 plus this 0.5 means it has become 20. So that is how you need to do. That means we are converting the effect of other gases into equivalent of the carbon. Equivalent of the carbon. So we call it as carbon equivalent effect. Carbon equivalent effect. Anyway, we are going to do that carbon equivalent effect. But apart from carbon equivalent effect, if you see the recent IPCC report, again, don't confuse with IPCC. There was again an international scientific body. It has recently released its report. Under that report, the body says that apart from carbon dioxide and equivalents, you need to be more focus on methane, because the methane gas is also increasing. And the developed countries again ask India and developing world, you please reduce the methane. You please reduce the methane. And all our entire agricultural system and even the animal husbandry releases methane. Methane requires in industrial area. And if tomorrow you come, your agricultural field is releasing the methane and you please close it, can it possible? No, but India has not committed to this methane equivalent, but US and European Union both are committed to reduce their methane gases, because methane is a strong greenhouse warming causes gas. Okay, you will understand while you are going through the environment and ecology. But first one is methane pledge. Second one is deforestation pledge. Deforestation. Deforestation. That means we need to halt and reverse the deforestation by the end of this decade. That means by the end of 2030, we need to reduce and we need to reverse. That means you have to stop cutting or clearing the forest and you need to go for afforestation. This is what? Deforestation pledge. Third one, this is important. Climate finance. Just now I have discussed. Climate finance. Climate finance. And whatever they are agreed earlier, $100 billion, that is not at all sufficient. We need at least now $1 trillion. $1 trillion of climate finance must be given to the developing world by the developed world. Actually, India has proposed it, but it is still under consideration. It is not accepted one. It is not accepted one. $1 trillion. So methane pledge, deforestation pledge, and also the climate finance. Apart from other things are also there. But I don't want to discuss those things now itself. But I'll tell you one important aspect, what exactly we are going to do, what is our target under this climate change. Our target under climate change is, because often you will get it in the newspaper, but generally you don't understand it. There is an industrial line. That means industrialization has happened at a particular time. That means it was started from 1750 or 1770. Industrialization has started at this point. From 1770 onwards, in the 1800, 1900 and 2000, temperature started increasing. Temperature started increasing. Now we need to stop this rise in temperature and we need to curtail it below the 2 degrees of temperature of pre-industrial level. Just assume at pre-industrial level, the global average temperature is 10 degrees centigrade. Just assume 10 degrees centigrade. It should not be 12. It should not be 12 now. Or else, if try to make it 1.5, that means 11.5. That is exactly our target. We don't want to allow the increase in global temperature beyond 1.5 degrees centigrade of pre-industrial level. Actually, the original target is 2, but we need to try it for 1.5 also. This is what the meaning. It is not something like what is the temperature now and it is based on not that. It is only on based on pre-industrial level. Pre-industrial level. So pre-industrial level, what is the temperature? And we are not supposed to allow it to increase beyond 2 degrees. If possible, we will try to confine it to 1.5 only. This is what our global target. And if you really want to make it, what we have to do? You have to reduce the emission. Who has to reduce the emission? Again, you start blaming everyone. But anyhow, what India has committed for this? India is committing, India's commitments are 5. These are important because you have to quote in an appropriate time, in an appropriate way. And also, in newspaper also, generally you will get all these terms. India's commitments are 50% of its energy. India's commitments, 50% of its energy, that means total energy, whatever we are generating, has to be supplied from renewable sources. So what are the renewable sources? Solar, wind, hydrogen, like these are the things. So 50% of your energy must be fulfilled from renewable sources. That means whatever the increase you may do, but the addition, and that means you need to close down the energy producing centers which are running with fossil fuels like coal and diesel, and you need to start a renewable sources. By what? By 2030. 50% of your energy requirements has to be met through the renewable sources. First one. Second one, reduced carbon emissions by 1 billion tons by 2030. Reduce carbon emissions. Again, when I say carbon emissions, it's not only carbon dioxide, carbon equivalent. Carbon emissions by 1 billion tons by 2030. 1 billion tons by 2030. We committed. No one said anything. We ourselves committed. 500 gigawatts production of renewable energy by 2030. That means we are thinking we will generate 1000 gigawatt by 2030. That's what. 500 gigawatt by 2030. What? Renewable energy. Renewable energy. We have to generate it. Next. Net zero by 2070. Net zero by 2070. So what is this net zero? Net zero means whatever you are emitting and whatever you are extracting out of the country has to be equal. That means today just assume overall India wise, by using our vehicles, by using our all industrial process, just assume we are generating, let it be 1000 tons of carbon dioxide today. The entire green cover, the entire ocean cover, the entire all the sequestered technology. Sequestration means we need to capture the carbon dioxide and we need to store somewhere. This is also one of the new upcoming technology. But you need to take it out the environment. The trees are one of the main source. To some extent, some oceans will also take. Some of the things can be done by other techniques. But whatever may be the technique, you have to take it out again 1000 tons from the environment. Then you will become net zero. Is it really possible to take down this 1000 tons? May not be possible. Then what you have to do? You have to make it 300. How will you make it 300? By generating 700 through renewable sources. Instead of normal vehicle, go for an electrical vehicle. Instead of thermal coal thermal plant, go for the solar plant. That means, first of all, that can only be possible if you reduce it. Don't say like, sir, we have to grow trees and trees and trees. If you go on increasing the trees, where you will develop. So I'm not saying like growing up trees is something wrong. We need to meet with our developmental targets. developmental targets. So there is a only limited scope for this afforestation, because at the national level we said 33%. Can you increase up to 50%? That means 33% of the land area should be covered with the green cover. That is what the norm. But still we are not maintaining that level. But can we go up to 50? It's not possible. We cannot go. And it's not possible to sequester every carbon dioxide whatever you are emitting. So the thing is, you need to reduce it. On the other hand, you need to increase it and come up with different technology, so that somewhere you will be balanced. That we will call it as net zero. But our main objection to this net zero is, we want to create an infrastructure. We want it to become a $5 trillion. Forget about 10 and 20 trillion dollars. There are lot many people are there to work. Lot of industrialization requires, because I think, I don't know, those who are completed economy, they can understand to some extent, because manufacturing sector is not so developed in India. Only services sector developed. We need to develop manufacturing sector, because agriculture sector cannot sustain the people. We need to industrialize it. We need to produce more and more carbon dioxide. See, somewhere it is possible. Somewhere we can really control, but every factory, it's not really possible to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. So as we need to develop more and more, we need to emit more and more carbon dioxide, because it is a requirement of the day to the India. That is the reason why it's really not possible for a country like India to become net zero immediately. That is why we have extended the target up to 2070. That means we may peak our emissions up to 2050. Maybe from 2050 we start reducing, but we don't reduce now. We will only remove 1 billion tons by 2030. That is what only we said. We said only we will add 50% of energy through this, and we will generate this much amount of renewable energy. But we will go on peaking our emissions. Till what time we will peak our emissions? We will peak up to 2050. Then we start reducing, because by that time our developmental goals will be reached, and then we can reduce from that. That is why we have fixed this net zero in 2070. Is it clear? Net zero? Okay. Net zero of USA is by 2050. Net zero of China is 2060. They said, I don't know to what extent they will commit.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir, for net zero concept, so is there any country in this world where there is actually the practical usage of net zero and it is happening?
Actually, net zero, it is happening in the sense, I don't think so net zero is happening anywhere, but to some extent we can quote Bhutan. To some extent we can quote Bhutan, because there it is happening. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Next,
the last target is reduce carbon intensity by 45% of 2005 level by 2030. That means what was there in 2005, in that we will reduce by 45% by the time of 2030. Earlier it was around 33 to 35. If anyone have an opportunity, if anyone had already read all these topics, you might have find about 33 to, earlier commitment was 33 to 35% of 2005 level by 2030. But now we have enhanced it up to 45%. So carbon emissions 45% in an absolute term, 1 billion term, 500 gigawatts of renewable energy, 50% of our energy met with the renewable energy by 2030. And last thing is we will net zero by 2070. Net zero by 2070. So these are the targets. These are the targets that we have given at the world, at the summit level. But apart from that, India has said some two important things. I think, I don't know how many of you have followed that Prime Minister's speech. Prime Minister has given an opportunity to speak for, I think, 3 minutes, and he has completed in that 3 minutes his speech. Did anyone follow? No one. Are not interested. Yes, yeah, someone is followed. So if it is 3 minutes, go and watch, you can. Okay. So he said, 3 points. First one is, again, we focused on climate finance. We focused on climate finance. Climate finance. Our demand is $1 trillion should be given by developed countries to the developing world. Developed countries to the developing world. Second one, principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. Principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. That means the responsibility is common, but there must be a differentiation. Again, why we are stipulating again and again? Because the developed countries want to push the responsibility on developing worlds also, along with the developed world. That is why we are always saying common but differentiated responsibilities. You have to understand the importance of this. What is the CBDR? CBDR is important. Otherwise, you have to contribute equally like how America and Britain is contributing. It's not possible for us to do that. So again, he is reiterated common but differentiated responsibilities. Next. Adoption. See, there are two terms in this. One is mitigation and second one is adoption. Mitigation means what? You have to reduce it. Mitigation means what? You have to reduce it. Adoption means what? You need to adapt to such a changing environment. You need to adapt to that changing environment. We are always focusing on mitigation and we are asking everyone to mitigate. But we are not giving enough emphasis or enough focus to the adoption. And Prime Minister emphasized that the world must learn this adoption. And he has quoted some different tribes in India, how they are adapting themselves to the changing environment. That adoption must be the priority. And every country must adopt themselves. In the adoption process, if it requires any assistance, that assistance also must be provided. And he also ended with whatever this sustainable economy or sustainable techniques must be included in the textbooks, and so that the coming generation must know about all these things, sustainable practices. So common but differentiated responsibility, climate finance, emphasis on adoption, and emphasis on including this entire thing into the textbooks of the students. This is what extra that he said, apart from whatever the commitments that we have made. But our concern is only to climate finance, technological transfer, common but differentiated responsibility. Again, they are going to revive, and we don't know when they revive, and if they really pressurize India to reduce these targets, we don't know how we are going to deal. But these are not final. Don't think that till 2070 they don't ask you to revise. No, you have to revise it, because you don't know what is going to happen. According to IPCC report, anyway, I'm going to explain in next or other class. According to the IPCC report, if you really continue with the same level of emissions, whatever the 1.5 target I have said now, that you will reach by 2040, and the 2 degrees I have said no, you will reach by 2050. But our targets is by the end of this century, that means by the time of 2100, you have to bring the temperature, or you have to make the temperature below that 1.5 level. That is what the target. By the time of 2100, you have to limit to that 1.5 level of target, but that you will cross in 2040, and you will cross the 2 degrees centigrade target in 2050 itself, if you continue the same level of emissions. So it's a very critical thing. On the one hand, temperature is increasing. On the one hand, climate is changing at the faster level. On the other hand, the countries are not pledging to what extent they can. developing countries are blaming developed countries. Developed countries are shifting the blame to developing countries. This is how the international level discussions are happening with respect to this climate change. Is it clear? Okay. Did you get anything? Because you haven't started any environment classes. So I've started, but even if you have started, I don't know this much clarity whether you will get it or not, because that is again something different, because as a part of current affairs, we are consolidating everything. So is it fine? The entire course of discussion from 1990 to today. So don't say like the examiner will ask the question in such a manner that no, India has to reduce it. No, India has to reduce. But India's responsibility is not same to that of others. India is doing, not that India is not doing, but India need assistance. India cannot contribute what you are contributing. That is what we need to understand.
Amrita IAS Academy.